Monday it is, and if you check with your time, then you'd know that it's a good place and a good time to be at. This is the show. It's Sports Today on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. And of course, we'll be discussing a range of issues from how Medeama SC have progressed to the next stage of the CAF Confederation Cup and are just one stage away from qualifying for the group phase. That surely will be a very big achievement if they're able to do that. Of course, they lost by a goal to nil to Zesco United of Zambia, but based on that aggregate score, they are through. So Medeama SC through to the next stage of the CAF Confederation Cup competition. Accra Hearts of Oak lost by a heavy scoreline, 3-1 they lost at Liberty Professionals in Dansuman, but Accra Hearts of Oak continues to fight on, and Kumasi Asante Kotoko will keep a 9-point lead at the top of the Ghana Premier League table, the first Capital Plus Premier League. Of course, let's talk also about the English Premier League, where the competition seems never to go away because Liverpool are now on top of the table. And now Chelsea fluff a very big opportunity to go to the top and obviously control, the situation very much towards a possible annexation of the league title. Remember, probably the words of Jose Mourinho some months back that his club were not in contention for the league title have been brought to bear and are now living the real moments. And so let's see how all of that goes. Well, goals continue to come in from Real Madrid and from Barcelona in the Spanish La Liga. Of course, when you go to Italy, AC Milan had to heave a big sigh of relief after having a 3-0 win in the Italian Serie A. We'll be talking some more about many of these other things. Of course, we'll be looking ahead to that big game that will be happening tomorrow. It will be Bayern Munich versus Manchester United. How does all of that go? Let's see how it turns out. Start sending in your predictions and telling me how it will be going. And of course, later today, talk about Bayern Munich. A legendary coach is coming to Ghana today, and his name is Otmar Hitzfeld. Yes, Otmar Hitzfeld won the UEFA Champions League with Ghana's Samuel Osei Kuffour. He won the World Club Championship as well. So a great coach, currently the head coach of Switzerland. He is coming to town as part of the launch of allsports.com, which is a sports site, and this surely is going to be a very exciting time. Follow Joy Sports for all the exclusive interviews with this great football coach who is of German descent, and of course he'll be telling Ghanaians about what his expectations are as Ghana goes up against Germany in the group stage of the World Cup. So these and more will come up here on the show. The reason why you have to stay right there. And of course, the stories roll straight into action. The newspapers are also here with some big headlines, all for you after this set of commercials. This is Sports Today and is only on the Joy Sports channel on Multi TV. You stay right there.
The Omo Fantastic 5 Grand Finale took off in a grand style. The 8 qualified teams camped at the Ligue complex, where a pre-match press conference was held to spell out the rules of the competition. The proud kids were given VIP treatment as they arrived at the Accra Sports Stadium to begin the journey towards winning the grand prize of an all-expenses-paid trip to watch world-class soccer in Brazil.
Omo has chosen to tap into one of our kids' major passion points, which is football, to create a platform called the Omo Fantastic 5 Challenge.
Ghana Education Service is informed that Omo decided to use football because it is the passion of the nation. And as its maiden platform, we hope that today's finale would help us to unearth the talent that we need from all of you.
56 schools began the journey and 8 qualified for the grand finale, which began with all the best skill, wonderful saves, superb passes and excellent goals to boot. After fiercely fought encounters, Kotobabi 5 Basic School and Kumasi-based St. Lisbeth School made it through to the final. The stage was set for a fiercely fought encounter, and both teams were on a 1-1 level pegging at half-time, where the coaches gave pep talks. When the game seemed set for penalties, Enoch Otu, the tournament's best player, struck an absolute beauty to win the match and the competition for Kotobabi Basic School. Lord Kriokon of St. Lisbeth School was voted the competition's top goalkeeper. Enoch Otu won both the Goal King and the Most Valuable Player award. The delighted players were presented with a championship trophy with the full knowledge that they will be traveling to Brazil to watch the World Cup.
I encourage them that we can do it, we can do it. We have come this far. The whole idea is creating a platform where kids can explore learning through play. Parents have also been around, and we had very positive feedback from the parents as well.
With the fireworks in the background, season 1 of the Omo Fantastic 5 challenge was brought to a glorious end. Omo Fantastic 5. Freedom to play.
All right, so we'll be getting into the newspapers very, very shortly. Interesting stories. Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan is leading the scorers chart with 21 goals. This will mean that if he's able to complete the season, which is only 5 matches away from completing, then he would have completed a hat-trick of Goal King awards. There we are. Black Star skipper Asamoah Gyan, and he is leading the scorers chart. There we are, 21 goals for Al Ain in the UAE League. And is Suarez football's first £100 million player? Well, that will be making an interesting read, of course. You'd have to get the details. And, of course, Bayern storm Old Trafford. That's the game in focus tomorrow. And I'm very sure that all of you have big expectations of that game. Of course, Joy Sports will be hanging out with Coach Otmar Hitzfeld for tomorrow as we watch this game together at the Silverbird Cinema. And, of course, Bukum Banku is set to have turned to Prophet 1, Ebenezer Adakwa, I guess, and he is, so that's the story there, and the lead reads, even as the Ghana Boxing Authority considers a request to postpone the much-anticipated fight between Aitipas and Brahma Kamoko, a kind of spiritual warfare seems to be gaining grounds before the two combatants eventually step up into the ring, with Kamoko reportedly turning to a popular TV evangelist for spiritual fortification. Don't you just love the razzmatazz and the and all the trouble that is ongoing as we build up to the big fight itself. All right, this is Coach Manuel Pellegrini, captured on the lifestyle page of the paper. And Manuel Pellegrini is also really working hard, hoping to just nick a second one for Manchester City. When I'm talking about the English Premier League title. And so there he is on the golf course. And isn't he just addicted to the greens? All right, so that's the lifestyle page with Manchester City coach Manuel Pellegrini. Let's also go into Europe, which is captured in the center spread with all the big moments. AC Milan will celebrate. That surely comes as a big sigh of relief following some of the chain of inconsistent performances. So Balotelli's strike, which we'll be bringing you later on in the show, celebrated by other teammates, including Ghana's Sule Ali Montari, who surely will be a consistent face at the FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Of course, Liberty Professional stamping Accra Hearts of Oak by 3-1 is the one of the main stories on the back page. And of course, Midiama SC celebrated big time for progressing to the next stage of the competition, and just one step away from the money zone, Midiama SC. So there we are. And Suarez is also said to be heading towards the very first £100 million star. You read that on the foreign page of the Graphic Sports. And also, we take a quick look at wives and girlfriends and what role they play in the lives of these footballers. Remember that the coach of Nigeria, Stephen Keshi, says he will allow only wives and not girlfriends into the camp of the Super Eagles during the World Cup. They will be allowed to travel with their husbands. So there we are, a list of WAGs from Nwankwo Kanu through to Didier Drogba. Sule Ali Montari also there. Samuel Attoh. Peter Usase Udemwinje also there. And Derek Boateng is said to be close to earning some billions in court. Okay. Read some details of that story and more. And of course, John Boy, Emmanuel Ajimambedu, and skipper Asamoah Gyan, who's leading on the scorers chart in the United Arab Emirates, is also there in the center spread. And of course, John Paintel has been lashing out at John Mensah's wife, Henrietta, for being a bad influence on his wife, saying that Henrietta Mensah, is responsible for, the decision by his wife, Richlove, to seek divorce. This is a long-running story which is yet to end, I suppose. Now, who beats the drop is the big question that is being asked. The drop means who will be cut off to the eventual 23 players. There we are. Several names and faces that have donned the Black Stars jersey, but only 23 will make it eventually to Brazil 2014. And who will it be? This is the Sports Filler newspaper, and I'm sure that debate has already started off. Let's see how it goes, and we'll see how all of that goes later on. Send in your predictions of who you guess could just be, could just be a part of that, contingent that will make it to Brazil 2014. All right, so let's go into the English Premier League. Remember, Joy Sports is the home of the English Premier League on television here in Ghana. And of course, at the weekend, we brought you that game of how Chelsea slumped by 1-0, botching that attempt to win or to top the table and possibly go towards winning the English Premier League title. It was an own goal by no less a person than Captain John Terry. These and many other highlights from the weekend are here in the English Premier League wrap.
City were looking to take advantage of Chelsea's slip-up at Palace and go above the Blues. Wenger, admitting this was the Gunners' last chance to stay in the title race, watched on as his side's penalty appeal fell on deaf ears. After a period of Arsenal dominance, City regained the ball inside their half and showed great pace on the counter.
David Silva and Edin Dzeko hits the post and Silva smothered it in!
The Gunners hadn't been beaten at home in the league since the opening day and thought they had drawn level. However, the flag was correctly raised for offside. Samir Nasri fired another warning sign for his former side, and following the resumption of the second 45, Jesus Navas's drilled cross was flicked out by Szczesny, with the ball striking Per Mertesacker and rolling narrowly wide of the post. Arsenal now had to throw caution to the wind. Santi Cazorla tested Joe Hart from range, and Mathieu Flamini provided the much-needed glimmer of hope. The Gunners' tails were up, and Lucas Podolski got in behind the City back four, but he was brilliantly denied by City's number one. Arsenal held on for a deserved point, but it may not be enough to reignite their title challenge, while City missed the chance to go top at the Emirates.
Palace in the league were looking for another 3 points from Sellers Park. The Blues started well and came close to opening the scoring in the 18th minute, but Andre Schürrle failed to get the final touch. In a fast-flowing encounter, Palace applied the pressure at the other end, while Yannick Bolazi's first touch ran him down. The Eagles kept at it. The Congolese was a menace to the Chelsea defence and was unlucky not to be awarded a penalty after replay showed Gary Cahill took him down in the box. Despite their precarious position just above the relegation zone, the home side continued to press into the second half.
Now it's Ward with the cross, and diverted in! Joe Ledley celebrate because John Terry may just have got the final touch. And Crystal Palace, the team from south of the river, have got title chasing Chelsea on the run.
There were chances for both teams as the match pace remained fast. Jason, punching on, pushed his shot just wide for the hosts. Before long, serving Argentine keeper Julian Speroni kept his side ahead as he saved well from Eden Hazard. Moments later, at the other end, Karen Jerome caught the Blues' defence on the counter, but his attempt to beat Peter Cech caught the post. Despite the chances, no further goal materialised in a massive win for Palace's survival hopes and a huge blow for Chelsea's title bid.
The general mood saw United secure their 20th Premier League title. While their woes this season are well documented, they would have fancied their chances against a Villa side who have won just once in their last 29 visits to the Theatre of Dreams. But there were ominous signs for the champions early on. A Rafael foul on Gabriel Egban-Lahore earned the visitors a free kick. Ashley Westwood stepped up and David De Gea was left grasping at air.
Oh, it's brilliant! What a terrific free kick from Aston Villa!
Villa's lead lasted all of 8 minutes as Wayne Rooney got on the end of a Shinji Kagawa cross and finished expertly.
And there is Rooney! They may be down, but they're fighting!
To their credit, Villa played without fear. However, a rash challenge by Leandro Bacuna on Juan Mata earned the hosts a penalty. Rooney took the responsibility and hammered the ball home. United took a 2-1 lead into the break. Villa started the second half confidently. Christian Benteke though fluffed his shot and Michael Carrick cleared. The Belgian again found himself in a great position, but he headed over. Another massive escape for United. The Midlands outfit would go on to rue those misses as Juan Mata paid back a slice of his £37 million transfer fee with his first goal in United colours.
On the turn, Mata! Breakthrough for Juan Mata! That's what they wanted to see here. That's what he's wanted to see here.
It was all United after the third goal, and Rooney could have bagged the match ball but for a fine save by Brad Guzan. Villa, however, continued to find holes in the United defence, but Benteke was certainly off form as another chance went a-begging. With an eye on their Champions League quarter-final, Moyes rang in the changes, and two of his substitutes combined as Javier Hernandez tucked in an Adnan Januzaj cross. 4-1 is how things ended, United continuing their dominance over Villa, but most importantly, the pressure somewhat lifts off their under-fire manager's shoulders.
As the Reds would have been well aware that a win would send them top of the table in England. It might not have been the most convincing of starts, but the hosts were on the board early.
And it's in! Not in the conventional Liverpool way, but Yunus Kabul has turned it past his own goalkeeper. And Liverpool are in front on their big day inside 2 minutes.
For a while, Spurs kept Liverpool in check, but mistakes at the back were to cost them again. Michael Dawson and Yunus Kabul caught in a horrid mix-up with Luis Suarez on hand to capitalise.
Suarez is away, and Suarez finds the net. Give him an inch and he'll pinch a mile. A new club record, 29 Premier League goals in a season.
The goal sending him above Liverpool legend Robbie Fowler, and it looked as though he would further extend his lead with time running out in the first half. A free header was palmed onto the crossbar by Hugo Lloris before Nabil Bentaleb cleared off the line. Spurs fortunate to head down the tunnel at the interval, trailing 2-0. Spurs were lucky not to be 3 down 8 minutes after the restart, as some fine work from Raheem Sterling was not capitalised on by Jordan Henderson. However, Liverpool would not be denied for much longer, as Coutinho's shot got the better of the Spurs defence and Lloris. Despite the handy lead, the Reds were hungry for more. A free kick from Henderson was the final nail in the Spurs' coffin as Liverpool ended 4-0 victors. The last encounter between the two teams back in December ended in a 5-0 win for Liverpool, effectively costing Andre Villas-Boas his job, and another heavy defeat might see the end of Tim Sherwood. For Liverpool, though, they climbed to the top of the table and are now eyeing a first league title since 1989.
Needed an improvement in form, and quickly with the season reaching its business end, standing in their way an Everton side who were eyeing a Champions League place and who had lost just once in their last 5 games against the London outfit. But the initial
initial proceedings contradicted the form book as Fulham made the early running, but Everton cleared their lines. From the resulting corner, Patiem Kasami arrived seconds too late after a neat flick by Breda Hungerland. The Cottagers continued to dictate proceedings. This time Kieran Richardson forced a fine save from Tim Howard. Everton came out of the break firing on all cylinders. Substitute Stephen Naismith searched for Romelu Lukaku, who arrived seconds too late. 5 minutes later, Everton had found their opener, and it came in rather bizarre circumstances. Lukaku was next to try his luck as the Fulham charge seemed to be withering away as the clock wound down. With Everton dictating proceedings, the Cottagers gave their long-suffering fans something to shout about, courtesy of an Ashkan De Jager stunner.
To Jagger! Oh, what a goal! What a goal! That is some hit! Everything that Fulham craved!
The goal sparked the home side to life. Twice Howard was called on to keep Everton level, first from Johnny Heitinger's header, and then from Kastami's shot. The home side were on top and eyeing another great escape. But there was to be a heartache for the fans backed into the cottage as Kevin Miralles stuck a dagger into the hearts of Fulham, the Belgian getting on the end of an Aiden McGeady pass and fired past David Stockdale. With time running out, the Toffees went for the kill, but Stockdale did well to thwart Naismith. The former Rangers man did get his goal as the win was secured in the dying moments.
Still Everton come! 5 wins in a row in the Barclays Premier League!
Naismith was inches away from getting his second as his shot cannoned off the upright. 3-1 is how things ended. Everton looked to be gunning for fourth, while Fulham need another Houdini-like escape.
Здесь опять солировали игроки сборной Англии. И вообще...
All right, so this is the game between Southampton and Newcastle, and it was a 4-goal thriller, all of them coming from one side. So there it is, the build-up to the first goal one more time. Absolute control, and bang, there it was. So the first goal in, and Alan Pardew's men just did not have a clue. It was a total annihilation. There we are, second goal there. And Newcastle just found it difficult to reply. And it's just amazing how the defense of Newcastle just could not stand it. And we're just kept, they were ball watching. So they're 3 goals down, and the trouble is not over. And all the goals are scored in similar style. Beautiful goal, and Southampton finish a 4-0 walloping of Newcastle. Now this is the game between West Bromwich Albion and Cardiff. So between this goal and that of Wayne Rooney, which will be tagged as the better? Amazing goal scored this season, and a long one, connected, and there it is. But remember, this game was a 6-goal thriller with both sides sharing evenly. Beautiful. And the goalkeeper follows the ball into the net. Wow. Sometimes some of the lobs are a bit too high to be touched. So that was a 6-goal thriller with 3 goals coming from each side, so it was a 3-3 draw. And the fans will just go ecstatic. The least you expect from them after a fine goal like this was scored. Amazing ball control there. And the connection was just watertight. beautiful, beautiful goal there. So ended a 3-3 scoreline. Wow. This is just like some Lego game where blocks are built steadily. All right, so there it is. Everton beating Fulham by 3-1. Liverpool winning 4-0 at Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester United, they won 4-1 at Aston Villa. And Crystal Palace beat Chelsea by 1-0. Chelsea now lose that top spot, and they could just be out of contention for the title. Southampton, 4-0 against Newcastle United. And you'd ask yourself, did Newcastle go to sleep? Stoke City on a 1-0 result from the game against Hull City. Swansea beating Norwich by 3-0. West Brom and Cardiff drawing 3-3. We just saw that game. And of course, Arsenal and Manchester City drawing 1-1. What's the situation on the table? Let's quickly take a look. And Liverpool, they are now on top of the table. Chelsea there on 69 points. This is a very, very tight season, if you ask me. Very competitive and full of drama. Manchester City in 3rd place, Arsenal 4th, and Everton 5th, and Tottenham Hotspur following 6th position. Manchester United will maintain 7th position. Southampton done very well this season, and they're 8th, with Newcastle and Stoke City following in 9th and 10th. West Ham, Aston Villa, Swansea, Hull City, Norwich, and Crystal Palace, as well as West Bromwich Albion, and the troubled Cardiff City, Sunderland, and Fulham. Fulham just look doomed and could just be going into relegation one more time. All right, so we're still here on Sports Today. Remember, you can send me a message on my Facebook wall. It's Nathaniel Attoh, Citizen Attoh, as we bring you all the big stories. So it was a big scoring one more time for Barcelona and Real Madrid as well during the weekend. And of course, like I always say, Real Madrid, Barcelona winning is always dead. All right, so Real Valladolid, they beat Almeria by 1-0. Osasuna and Real Sociedad drew 1-1, same as Villarreal and Elche. And Valencia and Getafe drew goalless. And Barcelona beating Espanyol by 1-0. Lionel Messi churning out that magic one more time. And in fact, scoring for the first time at Espanyol's home ground. Celta Vigo winning by 1-0. Atletico Madrid beating Athletic Bilbao by 2-1. And of course, Real Madrid in that 5-goal route. And there it is, 75 points for Barcelona, 76 for Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid on 73 points. And this is a very, very big battle. There's no doubt about it. So a lot of drama happening in all right, so there it is. This is the table, and this is how it's looking like in Spain. All right, so let's quickly jump to the Italian Serie A and take a look at how it happened. Of course, a big relief coming for Michael Essien and Sule Muntari at AC Milan after that win, that 3-goal win at the weekend. Let's take a look at that and many other games. For it. So these are the scores and how they happened at the weekend. Hellas Verona winning 3-0 against Genoa at home. And of course, Lazio beating Parma by 3-2. Fiorentina and Sampdoria drawing goalless. Torino beating Cagliari by 2-1. Bologna losing to Atalanta by 2-0. AC Milan beating Chievo Verona by 3-0. What's the situation on the score, on the chart? And of course, this is it. Juventus having a very comfortable lead. 11 points clear of AS Roma, who are second. Napoli, Fiorentina, Inter Milan, Parma, Atalanta, Lazio, Hellas Verona, Torino. And where is AC Milan? There, AC Milan is topping up the second part of the table. And this surely are very difficult times. AC Milan may not even get the opportunity to play in the Europa League. So a lot of restructuring needed at AC Milan. Let's quickly go to the German Bundesliga. And remember, Bayern Munich have already picked up that title. But it's business as usual as teams struggle and do well for Borussia Dortmund, coming from a goal down to win the game by 3-2. Borussia Mönchengladbach, they beat Hamburg by 3-1. Hannover 96 lost 2-1 to Werder Bremen. Bayer Leverkusen and Braunschweig, they drew 1-1. And it was a 3-3 draw between Bayern Munich and TSG Hoffenheim. Mainz beat Augsburg by 3-0, and Borussia Dortmund, they beat Stuttgart away by 3-2. Wolfsburg beat Frankfurt 2-1, and Nuremberg lost 3-2 to Freiburg. Of course, Schalke beat Hertha Berlin by 2-0. We quickly take a look at the table, and there we are. It's Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Schalke, and Bayer Leverkusen in the first 4 positions. And if you don't take care, Bayern Munich may just end up with some 30 points difference at the top. So this is the other half of the table. All right, so there it is. Let's now focus on the French Ligue 1, and the highlights are here.
Все-таки забивает 1 гол Paris Saint-Germain.
So Paris Saint-Germain and Lorient, and Carvalho will celebrate that very big goal, which we did not just see. Okay, there we are. This is the only goal of the game. And this is a very good placement. Zlatan Ibrahimovic delivering that assist. And of course, that was actually an own goal. John Terry's own goal as well, dominating the headlines in the English Premier League. Stade Rennes beat Bastia by 3-0. Lille beat Guingamp 1-0. Saint-Etienne and Lyon drew goalless. Sochaux and Marseille drew 1-1. Ajaccio and Toulouse drew 2-2. And Monaco, they lost by 1-0 to Evian. And Valenciennes versus Montpellier was goalless, same as Nantes versus Bordeaux, which was goalless. Now Stade de Reims beat Lorient by Stade de Reims and Lorient drew 1-1. Paris Saint-Germain, they beat Nice by 1-0, and that's the goal we saw a few minutes ago by Ricardo Carvalho. Now this is the top of the French Ligue 1 table. Paris Saint-Germain, Monaco. Monaco's done very, very well if you consider that they've also invested a lot of money in quality material. Lille, Saint-Etienne and Lyon, as well as Marseille, Stade de Reims, Toulouse, Bordeaux and Bastia. And let's go to the second half of the table. Take a look at those who are in trouble. Well, Ajaccio there, Sochaux there, Valenciennes and Evian. Okay, these are the clubs in trouble there. All right, so now let's go to the First Capital Plus Premier League highlights. Remember, the First Capital Plus Premier League is here on this channel, courtesy the official broadcast partner of the league, which is Super Sport. So that game was live here in the studio. Let's take a look at Accra Heart of Oak versus Liberty Professionals.
And showing that the game starts. So if you just join us on the World of Champions, this is the Corridor Park. It's Week 23 fixture, Liberty Professionals and Accra Heart of Oak. Lopez, and look at Philmon. And Liberty may have a first goal here, Liberty Professionals. And of course they have scored against Accra Heart of Oak, against the run of play. Where were the defenders? Michael Appiah gets Liberty the first goal here at the Corridor Park. And look at how ecstatic they are talked about Philip McCarthy. There was no way he could stop the run here.
I don't want to talk about Philip McCarthy. Benjamin, continue. I told you that he was unfit. I told you he could not go in for the clearances. I said I shudder to think what will happen if Philip McCarthy receives a back pass. Look at it once again. He was not fit to go in for the clearance. It was visible. I don't know why the bench decided to keep him on. And Michael Appiah will be credited for that goal, or with this goal. It took a deflection of the body of Sule, although Cisse finally had a last touch to the ball. Look at Michael Appiah, Liberty Professionals leading scorer, going past Sule and goalkeeper Philip McCarthy. You know, last season when he nodded in 14 goals.
And again, Kingsley Kisi has been tested twice ever since he came on to replace Philip McCarthy.
And Cisse is proving to be a good striker. Look at, you know, his vision. You know, he saw space there and slammed in that shot, but a single-handed shot just before the halftime whistle. And it's been impressive. They've improved in the second half with the way they've been attacking Liberty and Hearts of Oak.
Hearts of Oak did that against the round of play. Liberty scored. And so it could definitely be a reverse scenario for the two sides in the second half.
Yeah, possible.
Yeah, Tommy Muntari here for the corner kick. Right-footed one for Liberty Professionals. Liberty gets the second goal here. They have scored. What a corner kick. And what a goal for Tufo Frimpong. Well expertly taken. And indeed, they soared amongst everybody to not home the goal. He conceded a goal after he came on. Goalkeeper Kingsley Kisi.
You know, I told you, Hearts of Oak, they just don't have confidence in this goalkeeper. You know, if he were up, you know, I just don't understand. But he just didn't, you know, he just didn't come to compete for that ball. He was stuck on his line. The ball came in, and Tufo Frimpong had a field day to head that one in. Good corner kick there from Muntari top though.
A chance here for Hearts of Oak to reduce the goal scoring feat. Of course, they have scored a goal. It's 2-1, and they will be in the game. Ashite Olenu, he has been so mobile in the game, and he's proven to be the man to rescue Accra Hearts of Oak. But again, watch Liberty Professionals. They have been very, very sluggish in defense, especially after scoring 2 goals. He picked the ball midway the half line, and of course, doing so well to slot home. It was a beautiful 1-2 play from Accra Hearts of Oak.
Nice wall pass, and question about defending. The Liberty Professionals will have to sit up. Winfrey Kobna did well with a decisive pass, and the finishing also clinical from Alenu Oshite.
Understand football. This is football. You understand? But you know, the most painful thing, they don't even understand the way. They just want to win. You have to see what really, you know, happened here. I mean, we play football, and this is football. So, but you know, they need to encourage these young ones. You understand? But it's unfortunate they don't understand football. If people don't understand football, it's very difficult, you know, for you to, you know, see the way forward. Yeah, of course, we had the opportunities, we had the chances. I mean, we could look at the way should there have been a draw, and you can even imagine in the first half what the referee did. It was a goal. What the referee was doing, but you know, it's not necessary to complain because we didn't take our chances. So I mean,
thank you very much, coach.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it is difficult when you go away matches, but at home, I promise you, we're taking all the 3 points.
That was Coach Lamte of Liberty Professionals, and Ashanti Gold beating Adriana Stars by 2-0. King Faisal winning 2-1 against Dwarfs, and Became United, they drew 1-1 with Inter-Allies. Asante Kotoko and Brekum Chelsea also settled for a 1-1 draw, and Heart of Lions, they beat Edubiase by 1-0. Liberty Professionals, they beat Accra Hearts of Oak by 3-1. And the fight will continue to get Accra Hearts of Oak in good shape. And Hazakes, they beat Wa All Stars by 3-0. This is the situation on the top of the table. Asante Kotoko on 47 points, Hearts of Oak on 38, and a 9-point difference at the top. 3 games. Is it possible for Kotoko to drop 3 games? Well, can Accra Hearts of Oak still catch up? Well, these are big questions which will be answered later on. This is the second half of the table, and Dwarfs find themselves in a lot of trouble at this time, and the man, J.E. Sapong, is one noted for such big tasks. Remember that he sent Liberty Professionals out of the situation. All right, so let's talk some Black Stars business now. Remember that after the announcement by Coach Stephen Keshi that only wives and not girlfriends will be allowed to travel with the Super Eagles to the World Cup in Nigeria, after that, there have been major discussions. What's happening here in Ghana, and what are the implications for the team and its performance? Well, ex-Black Stars captain Stephen Appiah has been speaking on this matter. Let's take a listen to him.
I think at times when I heard that question, I don't even know what to say, because I can see the Zidanes and other European players doing it. So I mean, it's not that bad at all. But of course, if I get that position, of course I will take it.
Are wives and girlfriends a distraction to a player or not?
No, because at times people see it in a different way, in a negative way. If you said, Stephen Appiah, don't bring your wife to camp, do you think that you're going to stop me from bringing my wife to Brazil? No, I will still bring my wife. I will put her in the different hotel, and maybe I will sneak and go and see my wife. The question is, I don't know why people are making big issue about this thing. It's Stephen Keshi who said that he's going to allow the wives, but he's not going to allow the fiancés. So I granted an interview, and I said no, it's going to bring problem in the team, because if not everybody who is married. So people see their fiancés like their wives. So if you allow wives, then the fiancés too should come, because I don't see the reason why. I mean, it will bring a lot of problem. That's what I said, but I don't think that is a bad thing. I've seen a lot of countries or teams going to a tournament, and then, I mean, there's a time that the coach forced the players to bring the wives. So I think that it helps to, as I said, you can stop a player not saying that, okay, don't bring your wife, but still the player will bring the wife, and he will do things that is not necessary.
You heard from the experienced voice, the man Stephen Appiah, who was in charge of the Black Stars team as captain at the first appearance at the World Cup. All right, so we continue with WAG-related issues, and John Paintel says that he is he's being very livid, and he's launched an astonishing public attack on the ex-wife of John Mensah, Henrietta Mensah, warning her to stay away from his marriage, insisting he is not on the verge of breaking up with his wife. Now, the South Africa-based right-back says in recent media reports that Richlove Paintel, is seeking divorce from Paintel, and this was concocted by Henrietta, who is instigating his wife to follow her footsteps after she divorced her husband, John Mensah. Henrietta and ex-Ghana captain John Mensah divorced this year after a very bitter legal battle. All right, so we continue to talk about the Black Stars, and ex-Ghana international Tony Bafo has been talking about this issue of appearance fees for the Black Stars team. Let's take a listen to him.
Important. It's all about development, but I'm always a fan of academics and football, stroke sports. This is very important to encourage the young ones of today, but we also have to invest more into infrastructure. You see, if you look at Brazil, in Brazil the kids can play at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It even reduces the crime rate. have floodlights everywhere because they invested in the infrastructure. And the country is a big country, but they are benefiting from it. We need more infrastructure. We start from Accra, but go to the rural areas. Go to Bolga, go to the north. They don't have so much infrastructure. And I think this is one thing we should also invest in. Another thing we should also invest in when we talk about budget and sports bid, we should not forget that how much do the local players earn? How much do they earn? Nobody talks about the local players to lift their salaries. This, I think, is also very, very important. But coming back to infrastructure, I think it's vital to set the foundation and the platform for talents to come out. At the moment, we are living on our talent, but we can get more out of them with good infrastructure, good development plans, and good conduct, and also elite coaching. This is very important.
Before you go, let's look at some national issues now. In the last couple of days, issues concerning players, wages, appearance fees and all that. Do you think this should even be a debate at all?
No. You see, if you look at a lot of national teams outside, it's not a big debate because everything is agreed upon ahead of time. Appearance fees are a normal thing. You know, even when I came down in 1991, they gave me $1,000 appearance fee. You see, I heard Reverend Osei Kofi saying on radio that I was the one 2006 who spoke to them, but he was corrected. You know that it was not me, it was Attoh and Yusuf Chipsa, but it has nothing to do with that. Appearance fee in today football business is a normal thing. I think our career is over. We should encourage the young ones. I don't know why this must be criticized by a former footballer. Sometimes he should think twice because he calls himself a reverend. I think he should leave the reverend aside, you know, when he speaks. Because we are there I believe, to encourage the youth. And don't forget, the players from different national teams play together in one team. They talk to each other about bonus, appearance fee. But I think generally it could be handled better ahead of time.
All right, so let's do a few text messages now. Kontwandru says, hello Nat, I know things have been hard for Chelsea nowadays, but yet still we shall surely win the EPL. Chelsea for life. Let's go to Haki Fifi Sam, who says Liverpool will play in the Champions League next season, maybe win the EPL title for the 19th time, and Bayern will beat United home and away. Edu Boahin Jemima says, I believe Chelsea can never win this league. If not, then Liverpool, then it's Man City. Asamoah should maintain his good form for Ghana, or we're going to blow them. Please, okay. Now let's go to Eric Lamar Bedman Ajay. And Eduba and Jemima also says that please, we don't want the multi-TV channels to go off again because we want to watch La Patrona, please. Okay, no problems. The channels will never ever go off. Eric Lamar Ajay says, you will never walk alone. We are on top until the bones are rotten. We lost vital points still, but we are happy. Atletico will cut them ahead and show them this is the Barca way. Okay. Nana Fraser Ankoma says, all hope is not lost for Chelsea. We will bounce back. Makafui Swegoswe says, kudos to Clue. All right. The blues is the color. Chelsea is the name. Football is the game. Joseph Kofi Boabing says, for Bayern, they will definitely lose at Old Trafford. We won't be scared by their form. Okay, so we'll do some more messages as we go ahead. Let's now take a listen to an executive committee member of the Ghana FA who's talking about the issue of bonuses for the Black Stars team.
I only stated the case of FIFA and what those funds are meant for. Within the FIFA regulation, prize money from football should be used to develop football and nothing else. So if somebody should come to me and tell me that we are going to channel some of the resources to other sports, I will fight to the health, because that is not the intended objective of FIFA. If you cast your mind back, that what we received in 2010 never went into football development. Simply means that within this 4-year period, we've lagged behind as a nation in terms of our developmental efforts in football. So if there are expected flows, why don't we create the necessary awareness for the government to know that they are our partners in development But when it comes to the prize money from FIFA, it's solely meant for football development and nothing else.
In this case, you being a member of the executive committee, your president has agreed. Did you have the opportunity to speak to him before that decision was taken?
Not really. And I don't think he stated the general opinion of the FA. He said we'll look at that.
He's agreed. He's committed to it.
But when we go to executive committee meetings, it's a different ballgame altogether. We will state our case there, and we will state it forcefully. We will let the president appreciate the fact that that money is meant for football development. He's fully aware of it. Maybe just for the public. That's why he stated that case. And mind you, we are going into a major tournament that we need the support of all and sundry. So he could have courted the support of other disciplines. That's what made him to make that statement. But at the end of it all, we need to state issues the way it should be stated. Football prize money is meant for football development and not.
So in effect, you are saying that it was never discussed before he agreed to the wishes of the government?
We've not had any meetings, and you know, the beauty of democracy is that the president has his own opinion. We also have our individual opinion.
He speaks for all of you?
Not really. When we make a collective decision, that is where we stand by it and defend it. But what he did, I think he expressed his personal opinion, and I respect him for that. But when we meet in cabinet or in chamber and we are taking such decisions, we go strictly by the letter. I'm of the view that the previous $11 million that was given to the government, that shouldn't have even happened. So this time round, when the money comes from FIFA, we will use it judiciously. All I'm asking for is for the money to be used in such a way that football will be developed up to the next stage. That to me is important.
Let's do some international tennis news now.
All pleasure. We Mantrack, and in behalf of our dealer principals and our group CEO, Mr. Lutfi Mansour, I have the pleasure, and we have the pleasure to contribute in such great fields to build the football teams in Ghana and to build really good football players for the future in Ghana and for the future of whole Africa. What I have seen here is not only about football, it's not only about players, but it's about education, which is more important to everybody. And you are building some future of this country, not just by football, but by good education for the player who can join this football academy. Being Mantrack MED, our global strategy is to be a benchmark on a Caterpillar dealership in a global scale by partnering, by being a partner for Right to Dream and contribution on constructing the fields. I think also we are achieving our trademark or our goal to be a benchmark, because this is really a benchmark, and we thank Tom for managing that, and hopefully we'll see best players coming out of this academy very soon.
So there it is, Right to Dream Academy, great stuff they're doing there, and kudos to Tom Vernon and the guys over there, wonderful stuff. You should visit there in Old Accra, beautiful piece of work, and it's also churning out some very good results. Let's now go for some international tennis. All right, so that was NBA action there for you. All right, so that's how we wrap it up here today on the show. Remember that Coach Otmar Hitzfeld is in town later tonight, and of course that will be part of the launch of allsports.com, and this is being facilitated by Ringier Ghana Limited. All right, so we will welcome him at the airport, and after that we'll bring you all the pictures. Coach Otmar Hitzfeld, who won the UEFA Champions League with Sami Osei-Kuffour of Ghana. All right, so thank you all for the messages. Sorry if I was unable to read your messages. Don't worry, Wednesday is another time to do that. And George Attoh Jr. will bring you the football show later today, and they'll review everything, all the big games in the Ghana Premier League, the First Capital Plus Premier League, also the English Premier League as well, with all the drama and all the twists and turns and everything football from all over the world as well. We'll be bringing you some updates on some Ghanaian players as well later today as we build up to the announcement of the possible 23 who would make up the squad for Brazil 2014. So keep it here on Joy Sports all the time. My name is Nathaniel Attoh, and I have love for sport.